Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's proceedings, a mother attempts Olympic-level mental gymnastics to distance herself from the man she willingly had a child with. Now she's clutching her pearls over his criminal history and asking for supervised visits with extra layers of control. Sure, he's got prior convictions, but none of that seemed to matter when she laid down with him. Now that child support's on the table, she insists she doesn't feel safe and wants all visits in public, not because of abuse, not because of any drug use she's actually witnessed, just because. Let's watch as the court tries to sort out what's real concern and what's strategic amnesia.
At this time, the court's going to go ahead and call Bell County Calls number 24 DFAM 350,447. This is in the interest of Cheney minor child, non-considered party being Tyrone T. Is that pronounced Sierra? Or, how you pronounce that last name, sir?
Career.
Career. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Career. And non-custodial party. Custodial party is Jocelyn N. Cheney. And this matter is before the court on a petition establishing parent-child relationship. Of course, taking judicial notice of the court file, note for the record that Ms. Cheney signed a request for a hearing and was filed back on 12/19/2024, and the father was served with citation back on the January 23rd of 2025. So both parties are properly before the court this time. I'm sorry, the father was served on the 6th day of February 2025. The citation went to the process server in January. So anyway, both parties have properly been noticed and served in conformity with the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. So at this time, I ask state for an opening to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today, what you understand agreements and contests to be, and whether or not this is for a final or a temporary hearing. Thank you. A temporary order.
Thank you, Your Honor. They're always going to be requesting a final order whenever possible. My understanding is that the parties agree on the finances. As I understand it, one in, one out. Minimum wage is the gross. Medical it would be $19 a month. Child support would be $182. The total retro $3,458, and that's in requested repayment of $68 a month. So that the begin date would be January 5, 2024 to the present. So those are the agreements, Your Honor. The disagreements are, first of all, geographic restriction. My understanding is mom is not wanting a geographic restriction. My understanding, dad is requesting a geographic restriction to the state of Texas. And then my understanding, mom is wanting supervised visitation. My understanding, dad would be willing to accept step-up visits, but he's asking that not include supervised visitation. I believe mom is going to allege drug use, so I'll let her tell the court about that. Also, I'll call the court's attention to what I know I can verify. There is a 2008 conviction for possession of marijuana under 2 ounces. I can give the court that cause number if the court would like, or I can save it. There was a 2014 conviction for felony level of marijuana. Sorry, it was a 2015 is when the conviction was actually, it was a 2014 case. And there was a 2017 conviction for felony possession group 1. I don't know which substance it was, but it was a small amount, but it was the penalty group that made it a felony. Anyway, but I'll let the court, or I'll let the mom tell more about that. I think that's pretty much what I have. And the child is obviously younger in this case, so I imagine that might be a factor as well.
All right, well, let's get some testimony from the parties. Let's get some history. I need some job information history from the father. But based on 3 convictions, Mr. Diamond, I'm probably this probably is going to end up being a temporary order. I may end up being appointed ad litem for the child, and I'm probably looking at drug testing. But I need to see what's going on here. Let's see what kind of relationships they've been having since the child was born. Let's find out how often the dad's seen the child. And again, I want to find out uh, some information about Jad's employment history because, again, the judge is not crazy about minimum wage presumption when nobody's making minimum wage in Bell County anymore. I've tried to find, well, it's hard to find someone who's not getting minimum wage who's not a wait person and getting also getting minimum wage plus tips. Okay,
Yeah,
so
and I guess I should have made the court aware. Mr. Creer had a business for a while. My understanding is that he lost it, and he's currently unemployed. Um, but but yeah, I can get that information from Mr. Creer, Your Honor.
all right, then. Well, let's find out what's going on, and let's see whether or not I needed to appoint an attorney to represent the child and make recommendations along with ordering drug testing. So, and that's for both, folks. When I order drug testing, I order for everybody. So just to cover the bases. So let's see if that's going to be necessary. Let's find out what you guys have been doing, and whether or not we can make this a final order tonight, this evening, one way or the other. So at this time, I need both of y'all to turn on your videos if you can, and unmute yourselves and raise your right hands, please. Okay. Okay, please. Thank you. All right. Do both of you solemnly swear or affirm me testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're both officially on the oath. I'll allow the state to call you both as witnesses, and we'll take it from there. Thank you. You may call your first witness, Mr. Diamond. You can put down your hand, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cheney, will you state your full name, please?
You muted, ma'am.
Jocelyn Nicole Cheney.
And who is the child that we're here on?
Ava Brielle Cheney.
Begging your pardon, Your Honor. I'm looking at my documents. I realize I do not have the. No, I do have the genetic test results. All right, sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. And who's her father?
Tyrone Creer.
Your Honor, I have not sent this to Miss Molina, but if I could share my screen, this would be States 1.
All right, go ahead and share your screen and send it over to Belinda, and we'll put it in the file once we're through with the hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, I would offer what's been marked a DNA test that's been marked as States 1, or DNA test report that will be marked as States 1.
You're going to magnify that a little bit. I can't read that fine print. So
sorry about that, Your Honor.
all right. All right, I got it. Thank you. All right, folks, this is the state's documentation from the DNA paternity analysis. Is there any reason that States 1 should not come into evidence at this time? I'll start with you, Ms. Career.
No, I agree with it.
All right, ma'am, any objection? Ms. Cheney.
No, sir.
All right, Stage 1 is going to be admitted. Stage 1 shows that Mr. Carrera cannot be excluded as the biological father of the child before this court. Probability is well within the 99.999 that's required by state law. This one's 999.9999998 with a combined paternity index over 5 billion to 1. The court will so find that he is the biological father, and I'll allow the state, and this is admitted in evidence, I'll let the state proceed with the next question. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Miss Cheney, you heard the judge's speech this morning that as far as the child's name, especially when they're young, typically what he'll do is he'll go the mother's last name hyphen the father's last name, which would be Cheney hyphen Career. Do you have any objection to that?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's talk about the rest of this. How would you does Mr. Career have a relationship with Ava?
No, sir. He's only met her once.
Okay, and when did he meet her?
April of this year.
And let's talk about that meeting. How long or where was the meeting, first of all?
Chick-fil-A here in Temple. It lasted about an hour.
Okay, and how did it go?
It went decent. It went fine.
Okay. And I think you probably heard me tell the judge, my understanding is that you would like supervised visitation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and my understanding is that Mr. Creer in a minute here is going to tell the court that he has no problem with doing step-up visits to get to know the child a little better, but he's opposed to he's opposed to the supervised visits. So why are you asking for supervised visits, Ms. Cheney?
Because I don't know him well enough, and also with a history of drugs, that's not something that I have around my children. So I don't feel comfortable with allowing him to have her by himself.
Okay. Has Mr. Creer ever admitted drug use to you?
No,
Have you observed him using drugs?
no.
Okay, so I'm aware of several convictions. The most recent was in 2017 at least that I'm aware of. Um, I'm guessing, were you aware of those convictions as well?
I was never aware of those convictions, but I know he went to jail twice in 2023 for drugs.
Okay. And how do you know that?
Public knowledge. Nothing that he's admitted to me.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the deal, ma'am. You can't testify to general public knowledge. That's called hearsay. You either have to have be an eyewitness to it, or the other person has had to tell you. Obviously, yeah, the court's going to probably deal with it no matter what. But again, don't testify to something you weren't a witness to. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so the question be, is there any other evidence that you could point the court to other than what people that are not here today have said? So something that Mr. Creer has said would work, but something that somebody else said probably would not work unless there were certain circumstances.
No.
Okay. Um, all right. And what city do you live in, Miss Cheney?
Temple, Texas.
And do you know what city Mr. Creer lives in?
Colleen, I think. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
So, and I normally a visit would be at your residence, but my understanding is you would ask for the visit to be at a public place. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And can you why would you like that?
I feel safer in a public place than him being in my house.
Okay. Um, has he ever been violent towards you?
No.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the geographic restriction. My understanding is that Mr.
Tell
Creer
you
is
what,
going
Mr.
to.
Diamond, this is going to be a temp. Folks,
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to jump in like this and jump, but I've heard enough here that tells me that I'm not going to be able to finish this up today because at the end of this hearing, I'm going to give the baby a lawyer and let the lawyer complete their investigation and come back and tell the court what they are requesting. Because again, I want a neutral third party that actually knows the circumstances a little bit better than I get from the courtroom. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent the child, and that party is going to have to at least visit with both of y'all, plus even perhaps visit y'all's homes to make sure everything is above board and safe, and make recommendations for their client going forward. So again, this is going to be a temp order, folks. So I'm not going to get into geo restrictions. My understanding is the dad's requesting the state of Texas, but here's the deal, ma'am. It's considered to be in the child's best interest that both parties be around to raise the child. So I will have to know a reason why the court should not order at least the child to be remain in Texas so that the father can be a part of the child's life going forward. So that's something I'll definitely look at, but I'll save that for the final hearing, folks. But at this time, I'll go ahead and let the state finish with the questions they have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, so let's talk about the financial side of this case. Do you have health insurance available for Ava through an employer?
No, sir, just through Medicaid.
Yes, ma'am. And then my understanding is, at least for now, I believe I say correctly that it's an agreement. The agreement would be to set his wages based off of minimum wage. Is that something that's acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, and I believe I actually incorrectly told the court that Mr. Creer has one child. I think he actually has two children. Do you aware of how many other children he has?
He has 3 total.
Okay, well, I guess I need to ask him. Okay, 3 total. So that's, yeah, 1 and 2 out. All right, so the numbers I have, 182 on the child support and 19 on the medical, at least for this temporary order. Is that acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
And then also my understanding, the retroactive support that he would owe the total amount, $3,458, and he would be ordered to repay $68 a month. Are those numbers acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I think probably the last thing I need to ask you, it would facilitate things if I can give the attorney ad litem your contact information, but I have to have your permission to do so. So may I provide the attorney ad litem your contact information so they can get in touch with you?
Yes.
All right, I appreciate it, Ms. Cheney. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Cheney, be back in just one moment, ma'am. But I'll go ahead and let the state call the other witness, and we'll take it from there. Call your next witness then, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Mr. Creer. Will you state your full name, sir?
Tyrone Trent Career.
Okay, and it's the same questions as you, Mr. Creer. The first one is, as you heard, judge typically will make the child's name mother hyphen father. So that would be Ava Cheney hyphen Creer. Do you have any objection to that?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, I appreciate that, Mr. Creer. All right, let's talk about the visitation. So first of all, my understanding is that you're not in agreement with supervised visits. Do I have that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, I hate to interrupt again. Oh, Ms. Career, you understand, I'm not sure if the state went over with you this information, but the first sets of visitation as far as the break-in visits are concerned, the first 6 steps are usually supervised at a minimum, and a lot depends on the age of the child also. But you understand that the first set of visitation is with either custodial party being present or her designated agent. Did you know that, sir?
Yeah, I agree with like that stance, but the way the understanding I was getting to be like me, her, and then another third party just sitting there like a booklet watching me. That's what I don't agree on. But I agree on like somebody from her side or somebody she appointed from her side to be there. I'm a total agreement to that point.
Okay, again, sir, like, and it's always that first level is restricted. It's usually for 4 hours, but this child's such a young age that might be a little long for that child at that age. But again, it's either going to be mom or her designated agent. But we'll go over that later. I just want to make sure you understood that the first level is a supervised visit. So you may proceed with the questioning, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Creer, what city do you live in?
Killeen, Texas.
And my understanding is you'd be willing to agree to a geographic restriction for the state of Texas. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there was testimony a minute ago that you've only seen the child one time. Do you agree or disagree with that statement?
That's correct.
Okay. How did that visit go?
It wasn't good. Okay.
Okay. And I take it you would like to be more involved with your daughter's life?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's talk about the finances and then I'll ask you about the criminal history. So first of all, my understanding, the agreement would be, well, let me start off with this. I think you have 2 other children. Is that correct? Besides Ava?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, and then my understanding is we at least for the temporary order, set your wages off of minimum wage. And the child support would be $182 a month and the medical would be 19. Are those numbers acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. And let's talk a little bit now more about your work. So currently unemployed, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What,
I had a
what,
moving business. Go ahead.
no, please go ahead, sir.
I had a moving business. I was up and running, but I fell behind on like my DOT certifications and the insurances. So I'm not able to run that as I am now. So right now I just do oddball jobs. Like mainly I work with a friend as a lawn cutting service. So I'll be doing that right now.
Okay, sir. So you said you lost your DOD certification?
DOT, like in the insurances,
Oh, DOT.
to be able to.
Okay.
What was that?
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said DOD, so I thought you were maybe doing moving on post. So yeah, okay, never mind. Sorry. Thank you. You may proceed with your next question, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, and then also my understanding, the retroactive child support, the total amount, $3,458 with a court-ordered repayment of $68. Were those numbers acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Again, same question to you. May I share your contact information with the attorney ad litem because it'll help speed things up if I can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, appreciate that. All right, so let me ask you, what I have, like you heard me tell the court, I believe there was a 2008 conviction. I think it was a misdemeanor level marijuana case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then I believe there was the 2014 case, 2015 conviction for uh, I'm guessing it would have been a state jail level. It looks like marijuana between 4 ounces and 5 pounds. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the last thing that I have that I'm aware of, 2017 conviction for, I don't know what the substance was, but it was a felony level possession. Is that correct as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not showing anything else. It doesn't necessarily mean I have it all, but were you convicted of something in 2023 or more recently?
I'm on probation.
What are you on probation for?
Was a felony charge. I had an edible. I don't know if it fall under what kind of substance that would fall under.
Okay. When did you plead to the probation?
Just started that in January. Want to say February this year.
Yes, sir. And
It's
how long is the term of your probation?
8 years.
Okay. Are you aware of I'm guessing the answer is probably no, but I'll just ask, are you aware of any types of terms that would limit your ability to be around your daughter?
No, that's why like right as of right now I'm not allowed to leave either outside of Bell County or Washington County. That's why I want to have the Texas restrictions on there so I can at least have a way to get to her and whatnot.
Yeah. All right, so what's the major city in Washington County? I've heard that. Where's Washington?
Brenham.
Okay, all right, there you go. I know I've heard of it. So yeah, on
Yeah,
my way to law school. Yeah, I went to school in Houston. So yeah, okay.
yeah.
Used
You
to drive
pass
through
through
there all the time. So yeah, thank you. Yeah,
the
got
first county in Texas. That's what they call themselves.
it. Okay. All right, then. Thank you, sir. All right. Next question, Mr. Diamond. Oh,
I think
I
that's
got a question, sir. Do you have to undergo drug testing through your probation?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you had a drug test through your probation?
Last month.
All right. Will you authorize the ad litem also to by signing off on documentation to get any and all drug testing you have through probation?
Yes, sir.
All right then. And what kind of drug testing do you have? Was it urinalysis, hair follicle, fingernail, what?
It was a urinalysis.
Okay. All right. And was it negative, sir?
Yes, sir. It was negative.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. I may order both of y'all to take hair follicle, but yeah, but I'm definitely got to set up an ad litem on this one. So I'll let you proceed with any other questions you have, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
I don't know that I have anything else, Your Honor.
Okay. All right then. All right. Anything on redirect to the mother?
Not for me, Your Honor.
All right, folks, I don't want to keep y'all here all day. So, especially since I kind of sort of made up my mind here what we're going to do. Again, I got a lot of questions. I don't have a copy of Mr. Career's information from his more recent probation. I'll have the ad litem get that from Bell County. That's not going to be a major problem. I'll also get in all information from the probation as far as drug testing is concerned, and I'll leave it up to the and I'll talk to the ad litem and see whether or not he feels like that would be be appropriate to go ahead and order a hair follicle from both of y'all. And if I do, it'll be on my dime for now, and I will use the any test now out of Harker Heights to get that done. I'm not sure if they got. I don't think they have a place in Temple, ma'am, but if they do, we'll get it done. I like the any. Is it any test, any lab now, whatever the name of the company is? I like them, and they are. And I know there's one in Harker Heights that's open till noon on Saturday, so that way you can get around going there. They're open Monday through Saturday, so that usually works for me to get people in and get it done. The old place I used to have used to be closed on Saturdays and Sundays, so that made it hard for a lot of people to get there. But I'm looking at, I'll look at doing them. I'm looking at going ahead and appointing Mr. Brimhall on this one, Mr. Diamond, as the attorney ad litem for the child. Again, ma'am and sir, he doesn't represent you. Either one of you represents the baby, and it represents her best interest. I'm going to, for the time being, look at naming you both temporary joint management conservators. I'll have to make sure that that conviction doesn't affect that, sir. It shouldn't, but it may. But I'll save that for final. For right now, I'm looking at making y'all both temporary joint management conservators. I'm gonna have the state throw in the standing order. Bell County has a standing order what parties can and can't do while something is pending, while their case is pending concerning their kids. It's really more it's an injunction what it really is, but it has a bunch of things. Don't call up each other, cursing them out. Don't try to take the child out of the state of Texas. All kinds of things like that are in that order, and that's good. And that's not my order, folks. That's my boss's order. Well, my boss is all the district judges to sound off on that. So any SAPSR, divorce, any case involving children and divorce and property going through Bell County has to have this order in there, and this is involving children, so it's going to be in your order also. I'm looking at doing a temporary order based on the minimum wage presumption. I'm going to hold in abeyance the final order to the final orders on the retro child support, but it sounds like it's probably that's what it's going to be. But I'm going to go ahead and do a temporary order to child support, and that's going to start the first day of August. We just missed July 1, obviously, so it's going to start the first day of August. What was the cash medical amount that the state was requesting, Mr. Diamond?
It's 19, Your Honor.
Okay, $19 in the cash medical, and the child support amount again?
182, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's with 2 children out and 1 child in, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right then. And
respectfully, Your Honor, the retro he was previously employed, so that retro, most of that is time while he was employed. So I would ask.
Let's go ahead and make that final then, and we'll go ahead. I thought it was a higher amount. It sounded like employment, but I wasn't sure. But let's go ahead. We'll make that the final order. We'll do the retro and the repayment as agreed to, as requested by the state. We'll get that all taken care of. And the temporary order, I'm looking at the visitation, ma'am and sir, is the break-in visits. First level is always for 4. This baby's not even 1 yet, right? No, she just turned.
Sure.
No,
She's gonna be 18 months.
She's 18 months. She's 18 months.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's getting ready to be 19 months. So all right. So the standard is usually 4 hours from some on Saturdays or Sundays from 1 to 5. And it's usually, and like I said, the minimum is when people live in the same county is usually 6 visits. But until we get back and get everything situated and the ad litem's on board, that's what I will make the temporary visitation to be. And like I said, it's supervised visitation, sir, from 1 to 5. And I'll ask both of y'all what weekend day of the week works best for y'all, Saturdays or Sundays? And I'll start with you, ma'am. Saturday or Sunday?
Sundays.
All right, so Sunday work for you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do Sundays from 1 to 5. Ma'am, here's the deal. Is there a location that you prefer to do this at? Yeah, and again, you got to be there for 4 hours. So yeah, it's got to be someplace. You can't go to Mickey D's for 4 hours. Okay, so I'm sorry, and otherwise you'll spend your entire child support amount. Okay, for the month. So and I'm pretty sure the 18-month-old is probably not in the McDonald's yet. So is there a spot that you have for the visitation, ma'am?
My parents' house is fine, or even his parents' house is fine, whichever.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, y'all. I'll make it either of the parents' location. But ma'am, I'm gonna leave that up to you to set that up. And sir, again, this coming Sundays, ma'am, this is his first visitation coming up. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
y'all
Yes,
need
sir.
to get on that. So let's make but I'm gonna go ahead and let you tell him you gotta let him know at least 48 hours in advance which location it's gonna be at. Check with his parents, check with your parents, and see who's available this Sunday. I don't want to mess with older people, my African American people who go to church on Sundays. Okay, so find out who can be there at 1 o'clock and do it 1 to 5. And give him advance notice. I'm going to put you both on the parenting app. There's a free app out there. It's called App Close. AppClose. It's free, ma'am. You have to set it up and then send him an invitation to join it. So, but I want y'all communicating exclusively in it. It has texting, it has FaceTime, it has everything. Okay. So, but again, it's App Close, AppClose. So don't text each other on the child support. I mean, on the anything dealing with the visitation, custody, and anything like that. Everything dealing with the child needs to go through App Close. And like I said, you can do the text messaging and everything through it, please. And that way, if somebody says, if we ever get into that he said, she said, the attorney ad litem could get a copy from AppClose, and we'll find out who did what and when they did it. All right. So anyway, because I've actually seen people bait each other, and I get the email that shows everybody going crazy on each other, but I didn't get I mean, the text message where everybody start cursing each other out, but I didn't get the 3 text messages earlier where the other person was goading him into doing that. So yeah, so that's why I like using AppClose. Okay. All right. So
Yes, sir.
all right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and like I said, I'm going to make this attempt. I'm going to go ahead and appoint Isaac Brimhall to be your child's lawyer. He will, your contact information will be given to him, ma'am and sir. We're coming up on a 4-day weekend, so don't be surprised if he doesn't get with y'all until sometime next week, but he will get in contact with you and he'll set up the appointment. With a child this young, he may just want to do a walkthrough of the house, ma'am, on as far as a Zoom type telephonic one, but he has the option, since y'all both are local, of actually coming and visiting your locations to make a determination on how safe it is and what it looks like going forward as far as the visitation is concerned, and he'll make recommendations on that. And sir, like I say, he'll check with your probation, he'll check with the court file, and he'll get all the information. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and order drug testing, but I'm gonna allow the ad litem to set it up if he feels like that's after he does his initial investigation, that's in his client's best interest, and he'll let you know the time and place to go get your drug testing done. But like I say, it'll be at any test now in Harker Heights, Texas, and he'll let y'all set up the time, but he'll prepay for everything and get that set up and done. Judge just said a mouthful, so I'm going to start with you, sir. Questions?
No, sir. No questions.
All right, Ms. Cheney, any questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, let Mr. Brimhall get to work on this. I want to set this for a pre-trial, and I'm going to set it up on a general docket about sometime in late August. I'm probably just I'll see when Mr. Brimhall is already going to be in court the last couple of weeks of August or that first week in September, and I'm going to set y'all up for a pre-trial and maybe a final hearing based on his recommendations at that time. But if he thinks I need a special setting for you guys where y'all could tell you to come in and testify for an hour and a half is necessary, he'll let me know and we'll set it up as a special setting, or we'll do it as a final hearing at on a general docket date. But for right now, does anybody?
Miss Walker's, beg your pardon, Your Honor. Miss Walker's ahead of us. She has him coming in on August the 26th.
Okay, all right then, folks. I'm gonna set y'all for pre-trial on August the 26th, 9 a.m. Y'all get out of here kind of rapidly. Y'all won't be here till 1 o'clock that day, but unless there's an agreement to get everything done that date, okay?
Okay.
All right. So anyway, folks, that's going to be the temporary order. Again, the gentleman's name is Isaac Brimhall. So if somebody named Isaac calls you and say, you don't know who the heck is this, he's your baby's lawyer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, then I'll go ahead and let the state prepare that order. If one final time, any questions, Mr. Creer?
No, sir.
Okay, Ms. Cheney.
No, sir.
And I hope you tell your hairdresser, I hope they're having a good time behind you there, man. So this is not the first time this has happened during one of my hearings. So
I'm sorry. I didn't know how long it was going to be. I had already made an appointment. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, believe me, I've dated enough, and I remember my mom too. So yeah, don't mess with the hairdresser appointment, okay? I got it. All right, anything else, Mr. Diamond?
No, Your Honor. If the parties could be excused, we've got a new order generator, and I might fumble through it the first couple of times, so I hate to keep them waiting a long time.
All right, you're both free to go, and I can say I'll see you on August the 26th when it's really going to be hot outside, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank y'all, folks, and be careful and be safe out there. And if for some reason something has to be clarified, just let the ad litem know, hey, this is not working. We need to get back before the judge ahead of time. Mr. Brimhall can get y'all back in here faster, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Either one of you, thank you. We're off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a happy and safe 4th of July. And again, ma'am, that's the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Sundays of the month. And starting this coming Sunday, okay?
All righty, thank you.
Thank you. We're off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
While getting her hair braided, the mother testified like the child appeared out of thin air. There's nothing cute about erasing your own agency once consequences arrive. If you chose the father the night conception happened, you don't get to disown him now just because a judge is present. What does it say when a mother condemns the man she once chose only after he asks for access? And what will "I don't know him" mean when the child has both last names? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.